Well, folks, university presidents, they're people who love to talk about safe spaces and microaggressions, except when it comes to the Juden. Here was Representative Elise Stefanik of New York questioning the presidents of University of Pennsylvania, Harvard University, and MIT about genocidal language chanted on campus. Listen to these responses. It's a long clip. We're going to stop and start it because there's a lot here.
Dr. Kornbluth, at MIT, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate MIT's code of conduct or rules regarding bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
If targeted at individuals, not making public statements.
Yes or no? Calling for the genocide of Jews does not constitute bullying and harassment?
I have not heard calling for the genocide for Jews on our campus.
But you've heard chants for intifada.
I've heard chants, which can be anti-Semitic depending on the context, when calling for the elimination of the Jewish people.
So those would not be according to the MIT's code of conduct or rules?
That would be investigated as harassment if pervasive and severe.
Ms. McGill, at Penn, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
I am asking, specifically calling for the genocide of Jews, does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context. That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill. So is your testimony that you will not answer yes?
If it if the
yes
speech
or
becomes
no?
If the speech becomes conduct, it can be harassment. Yes.
Conduct meaning committing the act of genocide? The speech is not harassment? This is unacceptable, Ms. McGill. I'm going to give you one more opportunity for the world to see your answer. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's code of conduct when it comes to bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be harassment.
The answer is yes.
Can be.
And Dr. Gay, at Harvard, does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
It can be, depending on the context.
What's the context?
Targeted as an individual, at an individual.
It's targeted at Jewish students, Jewish individuals. Do you understand your testimony is dehumanizing them? Do you understand that dehumanization is part of anti-Semitism? I will ask you one more time. Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Harvard's rules of bullying and harassment? Yes or no?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric.
And is it anti-Semitic rhetoric?
Anti-Semitic rhetoric when it crosses into conduct that amounts to bullying, harassment, intimidation, that is actionable conduct, and we do take action.
So the answer is yes, that calling for the genocide of Jews violates Harvard Code of Conduct, correct?
Again, it depends on the context.
It does not depend on the context. The answer is yes, and this is why you should resign. These are unacceptable answers across the board.
I mean, they're amazing answers because, again, just substitute the language. What do green eggs and your holiday family dinner have in common? They both need a ham to be complete. You can get a spiral cut heritage pork masterpiece from Good Ranchers for free with any Good Ranchers subscription. That's a whopping $99 value that you can get for free on your first order. Simply subscribe to any box. You'll get your free holiday ham included in any order. The subscription is amazing. You get $25 off every order, a free gift in every third box, and free shipping on express delivery. Good Ranchers has something for every meat eater in your life. They've got award-winning boxes of full steakhouse quality American meat. They've sent boxes to all of my producers. They cannot stop talking about the quality of the steak and the chicken. As you can tell, that ham offer, not kosher, but they have sent me like one special shipment of kosher just so that I can actually taste what their meat is like. Let me tell you, it is fantastic. The best part is knowing exactly where your meat comes from. That is a local American farm. Head on over to goodranchers.com. Subscribe today with code Shapiro. Claim your free limited stock holiday ham before they sell out. Act fast. This offer won't last forever. Order before December 11th for guaranteed delivery by Christmas. Head on over to goodranchers.com and use code Shapiro when you subscribe to get your free 10-pound holiday ham. Don't settle for the same old holiday fare. Elevate your feast with Good Ranchers this year. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered. In a world filled with uncertainties, you need to be prepared for any possibility. You need my Patriot Supply. Honest to goodness, people are looking around and they are figuring out that this is a pretty unfriendly world and that bad things can happen. I mean, that's putting aside natural disasters. You need a good food supply. My Patriot Supply is your trusted partner for emergency preparedness. They're the country's largest preparedness company. They're more than equipped to stock your shelves. So whether it's a natural disaster, a sudden emergency, or unforeseen circumstances, My Patriot Supply's high-quality food storage solutions ensure that you and your loved ones are always well-fed, no matter what comes your way. Right now, when you go to preparewithben.com, you'll get $200 off their best-selling 3-month emergency food kit. This kit provides delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years in storage. You can even customize your supply with a mega protein kit with real meat or options that are gluten-free. These kits also provide over 2,000 calories every day and are simple to prepare. Just add some water and heat, and then eat. If you order by 3 p.m., your food kit will ship fast on the same day with free shipping. Invest in your safety and well-being by securing your food storage today. Go to preparewithben.com. Get $200 off your 3-month emergency food supply. Go to preparewithben.com right now. That's preparewithben.com. Now, we're not talking here whether the First Amendment protects activity. For example, like the KKK marching through Skokie. The First Amendment does protect that activity. We are talking about college campuses where there are strict speech codes that exist on every one of these college campuses. So if you don't want to have speech codes, don't have speech codes. But if you are going to, it is weird that it only applies to everyone except for one group. Can you imagine going at Harvard University and leading a rally saying death to all black people? All black people should be killed. Can you imagine that not being punished by Harvard University with expulsion? Can you imagine the University of Pennsylvania, some sort of rally where everyone is yelling at the top of their lungs, death to gay people, all gay people should die, and that not being punishable at University of Pennsylvania? But when you chant from the river to the sea, Palestine should be free, or Intifada revolution, there is only one solution. When you chant those things, that is now considered perfectly acceptable at these schools, quote unquote, dependent on context. Now, what's amazing is that the context very often includes conduct. When they say things like, we're not worried about speech, but when it bleeds over into conduct, we have a problem. The truth is that depending on the conduct, they're fine with that too. How many students have been suspended or expelled for actively harassing students who are Jewish, for lining up outside libraries and pounding on the doors in acts of intimidation? And all of this is ridiculous. Listen to the amount of obfuscation that they are putting forward. Listen to the amount of spin. Can you imagine during the Black Lives Matter protests, anyone saying something remotely similar as a university president about any of this? It's difficult to imagine these icons of sensitivity and diversity, equity and inclusion would be nearly so sanguine about slurs against any other racial or ethnic minority in America. Simply put, they wouldn't. One can make the case for free speech on campus. I can and I do. But one cannot pretend that universities protect students against harassment and then soft pedal Holocaust-level rhetoric. These university presidents don't even like free speech, but they're perfectly fine not only mouthing language they certainly don't believe about free speech, but then smiling while they violate these prescriptions. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Facts, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.